Have you been looking for a way to stay focused on your goals and grow your MSP? Accountability groups from RocketMSP can help. We offer weekly accountability sessions that meet online with a group of your peers. Your success begins with accountability. Go to www.rocketmsp.io to join your accountability group today.
Brent, I can't tell if you're trying to get in here or not.
Yeah, so I think fundamentally, from a threat intelligence perspective, it's no different than there's a responsibility. I think we have to be very careful. At Control Protect, we work with hundreds of MSPs, both in the United States and Europe. There is one common denominator that we see. They are pushing products. They are focused on projects. They are not consulting. And the reality is, they are cyber coaches to those end users, regardless of the size of their end user or their clients. They are depended on. They are relied on. They're the face of cybersecurity for a lot of those end users. And so it's important that MSPs adopt that approach, that they take that responsibility, and that they.
And how do they do that, though?
So the important part is to partner with companies that consult you, that are respectfully, that are in data security. They're not simply running, automated pen testing or there's all sorts of, I say, rubber stamp or simplistic surface level stuff in this industry, right? So many companies have jumped on the bandwagon. So there's this massive lake. Somebody said lake earlier. This massive amount of stuff that we can throw at end users, and yes, it creates equity. Yes, it creates that I call it mailbox money. And there's some greatness to that, but there's also liability because it's not comprehensive. And MSPs have to adopt and understand that data security cannot be rubber stamped. Every single client is different. So the fundamental problem is proper threat model analysis. You don't need one antibiotic for every person. And Recorded Future is an incredible product. We've partnered with them many times, continue to do that. But that's for a specific client that their threat model needs that level of antibiotic. The reality is, and I'm not sure, I know you guys probably know this, but MSPs need to understand there's a paradigm shift in the insurance liability space. And scenarios like Kaseya are paving the way. CyberAcuview is a brand new alliance. The top 7 cyber liability underwriters in the world have come together and formed an alliance. They're tired of paying major claims. And so they looked at that correlated data for all the claims they paid and said, time out. Let's hire people who are experts in our industry, who understand, and take a look at the C-suite list within CyberAcuview, and you're going to find that they have done their homework. And either the NIST guideline, whatever, you pick your framework, the reality is this. If you're an MSP, within the next 12 months, a vast majority of your clients are going to come to you and say, help me with this questionnaire. And guess what the questionnaire focuses on? If it focuses on network security, right? I mean, network security controls are a big part of it. Ransomware controls, MFA everywhere. And then, phishing controls. Have you lost anything in the past? I could go on and on. One of the major areas MSPs are not prepared for is an MSP analysis questionnaire portion. So again, a lot of change is coming if an MSP does not have a cyber consultant themselves and cannot refer and help build the threat analysis for each of their clients. There's a significant amount of liability that they open themselves up to.
I just want to say, Brett, hallelujah. Thank you for saying some of those words. I tout this all the time where an MSP will go, and this is not to throw shade by any means, but they'll go to Scout, they'll go to Huntress, they'll go to whatever partner vendor that you want to choose. And now, we're an MSSP now. We do cybersecurity. No, you don't. It's really,
they think it's a product play.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem in the MSP space. MSPs think in terms of stack, tools, products. Service delivery remains the same in their eyes. And it's like, what's in my stack? My stack is this, and it includes security elements. Therefore, I am doing security. Like, security technical controls are like 10% of what needs to be done. The other 90% is consultative and administrative controls. And they're not doing it. They don't know it exists. And another emerging problem that I've observed over especially the last 12 months is many MSPs, they're like, apparently security isn't a product-based play, so I need to do something about that. They go out and they brain dump a couple of exams, get a couple of certs, and think they now know everything that needs to be known.
So what should they be doing?
That's the question, Steve. That's the $1 million question, because a lot of this security stuff, it's not just about like, okay, I went and got a cert, and the cert guarantees that it teaches me everything I need to know, because it doesn't.
Zach, are you saying all those CISSPs out there aren't worth their weight in gold, despite what they put on LinkedIn?
You mean the CISSP associates?
The ones who get the certification, they do the test, and they're great on paper.
Yeah,
but
there's two different types of CISPs. Okay, there's a CISSP associate, and then there's an actual accredited CISSP. Most people don't know this. A CISSP associate says, I have gone out and I have taken the exam and I have passed it, but I do not have the requisite number of hours of experience. Because
90% of those guys with the alphabet behind their name? Gotcha.
Yeah,
because the accredited CISSP says you have to have a minimum of hours in 10 different knowledge domains within cybersecurity, documented hours, education credits, like the whole 9 yards.
And that goes into something I want to talk about here, which is education. Brent, you brought up risk. How many MSPs actually understand risk, much less can rate that risk and decide what to put in place to deal with it? And I think that's the fundamental issue.
Yeah, you're spot on. I mean, what we see, and I call it risk evaluation that can be conveyed to the C-suite or just to the simple mom and pop. What is, I was partnering with MSP just a few weeks ago, and the owner, when we put together a comprehensive strategy, the owner immediately says what everyone says: man, I just can't afford that. How long can you afford? How long can you afford? And I looked at it. I literally looked at the guy and said, tell me this: how many days this week can you afford to be out of business, shut down?
I want to ask you a question there. I understand that there is a security poverty line, and not all companies can spend for that. But my take on that has always been, if I platform security as a part of my managed offering, by scale, we're small. We're, 6,500 user compared to some of the monster MSPs out there. If I can platform that across my managed offering and buy down my cost entry, I can give that to every single one of my clients. And I always say, my plumbing clients are probably more secure than some of the hedge funds I've walked into to do assessments for. Because I've been what I did was I looked at all the compliances, because, compliance is security and security is compliance. Air quotes for those listening. But
they are and they aren't.
But what I did was I looked at all the compliances we deal with for our clients, and I kind of put them together. So my plumber, he's HIPAA compliant. And across the board, everyone has the same level of compliance that we built internally and security. So now they can buy in at a much cheaper level. And I think, maybe that's something worthwhile for the channel to look into.
You have to admit, though, that if you're coming from this and you don't know much about it, it is quite intimidating. There's a lot of stuff to be compliant with, and there's a lot of different areas to cover. And, even just the time investment to learn about the things that you need to learn about is significant.
But I think sorry, go ahead.
I do feel sorry for people who are coming into this cold and having to learn about it from scratch.
But I think that's part of the thing about opening your own business, right? It's not about just saying, hey, take my money, give me an EIN, give me a shitty laptop, and I'm a technology provider. It's put the work in, get the experience, and build a real business, not be self-employed. How many bad one-man shops are there in the MSP industry? Too many.
I'd say 80% of the entire industry is bad one-man shops.
And we're already seeing class action lawsuits hitting MSPs that because they're not comprehensive and they are literally pushing price, and they have not adopted that threat model analysis on the front end. They're stuck with WebRoot they've been with for however long.
WebRoot is the greatest antivirus ever made.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. But you guys know the story. And so as an MSP, it's really sad. I mean, we do see a lot of scenarios where MSPs, unfortunately, are very set in their ways. And oftentimes they get acquired by those who figure out about this industry and understand the risks. And as Shiva just said, most of our most astute MSPs that we partner with, it's a non-negotiable. MFA is not an option. When they set up Office 365, whatever, it's not even an option. It's enforced from the start. You don't give the client that option, right? You guide the client as their cyber coach.
That's why I've stated, several times on this one. I think that's going to be some of maybe my marching drum now, Shiva, especially with our internal podcast and, everything else that we're doing. Keith I'm not sure if he's still watching or whatever, but, yes, we all started in under 1,000 seats. I get that. But like I keep saying, I think we need to go to the spot as an industry. If you are under a certain amount, whatever it is, internal technicians, self-attestation, compliancy, whatever that X factor is. I'm not sure if I can say X factor. That's a TV show, but anyway, whatever that variable is, you need to be partnered with somebody bigger. You need to be partnered with a larger MSP. And even I scare to say that because the company of All Covered is owned by Konica Minolta. I don't know how many times they've been popped, but
not enough.
I think they need to be partnered with somebody who has credibility that will guide them through there. You know what I mean? Granted, I just recently migrated from an MSP to a cybersecurity firm, and I'm on that path. There is a metric F ton of stuff in cybersecurity that I don't know, and I'm not going to touch. You're like, am I going to do memory dump analysis? No, that's not even in my wheelhouse, right? But, there's things that we just don't know. So I think MSPs partnering with somebody who is larger to get the training, get the education, and not be scared. Say, look, we are partnering with XYZ cybersecurity firm to help advance our foothold and help advance our security stack and our understanding. And in turn, you as well. We all keep saying, let's rise the tide. And I think that is going to be one of the mission critical things that we need to do to rise that tide.
I have a question there. How much of this is driven by the vendors saying, buy our product and you can do this? You can be all you can be with our product when...
No question.
I'm looking at you, ConnectWise.
Yep. No question.
Have you been looking for a way to stay focused on your goals and grow your MSP? Accountability groups from RocketMSP can help. We offer weekly accountability sessions that meet online with a group of your peers. Your success begins with accountability. Go to www.rocketmsp.io to join your accountability group today.